Hey traders, welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. It is Monday, February 1st. It's the beginning of the month. Hope everyone had a great month and a great weekend. In today's video, we're going to discuss space stock, the absolute monster move that it's been on, and we'll look at some news and events. So we'll do some charting on space and we'll look at some news and events, and then we'll look at the overall broader market. So before we jump into today's video, I just want to do a couple housekeeping items. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this market perspective. And just as a reminder, I do have a broken hand, so just bear with me here. It's a little bit of a different format than usual. So today was one of those days where there wasn't a whole lot of news, which is strange given the amount that we've been receiving over the last few months. And I didn't have any broker issues. I noticed that my platform was a little slow to begin with, but I got logged in fine. I could view my account fine, and every trade was working. It was just a little slow, but that was nice to see that we didn't have those issues. So let me know in the comments below if your broker was giving you issues this morning when the bell rang. So Amazon and Alphabet and Salesforce are investing in a $28 billion company that crunches big data. So you can check that out, but I did bring this up because I want to highlight that Amazon and Google are going to be reporting earnings tomorrow after the bell. So all eyes will be on that tomorrow. Let's take a look at our stock of the day. It is SPCE, so Virgin Galactic Holdings, and this is Richard Branson's company. So taking a look at the daily time frame, we did have an upper wick and profit taking into the end of the day. We had an inside bar on watch from last week on Friday. So once we broke the high of 49.90, that was a bull break, and you could have entered on that $50 break potentially, and you would have seen upwards of a $7 gain if you just played off that daily inside bar and your stop just below. So congrats to the bulls here. We are daily overbought as well. We do have earnings coming up here in a little bit on February 25th. So you need to determine whether or not you want to take profits going into that, if you're going to trim, or if you're going to completely go to cash. Personally, I don't play earnings, but we'll just take a look at this chart here just to give those people invested a little bit more perspective. So we are in a monthly uptrend. We are in a weekly uptrend, and we're holding EMA 12s here and 26 on the weekly. On the daily time frame, you can see that we are holding the EMAs. We have yet to touch EMA 12, and we are in a daily uptrend as well. We had a mini higher low back here at 39.47, and that held, and it ended up being a daily bull flag. But we need to break the resistance here at 59.43. I believe that's all-time high. So we need to lose the hourly uptrend to be confident that the daily bounce is finished, and we are still in a hourly uptrend. So it looks like move has still got some legs from here. So we'll continue to monitor the hourly chart going into tomorrow. We also have EMA 12 there as a potential bounce point. But essentially, we are starting hourly consolidation. So we're looking for a higher low compared to 43.94. And like I said, resistance up at 59.40 and 57.18. So we'll move over to the weekly time frame. So on the weekly, you can see we're well above the 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD are extremely bullish, and the 10-week moving average down at 32.22. So we'll look at the averages, the weekly averages. So you can see we're well above the 50. We don't have anything defined for the 100 or the 200. So you can see we're well above. There we go. Sorry about that. So we don't have the 200 defined. We have the 50 and the 100, but it's all the way down at 21.15. And taking a look here at the daily chart, we're well above the 50, 100 and the 200 daily moving average, and the MACD is going into orbit here as well. So we could potentially drop here. We don't really have any daily support. We have that mini higher low here at 39.47, but not a very clear support. So we have a gap in the chart here as well. So we could easily drop to $27 in my opinion, which is almost about a 50% drop. Actually, it is a 50% drop. So just make sure that you are aware that earnings are coming up, and we could potentially see a drop of 40, 50% once this move does top out, given how far we've run. And we are overbought on the daily. We're overbought on the weekly. I would be taking profits. Personally, again, this isn't financial advice. This is just my own personal opinion. So taking a look at the weekly chart, we did bounce off the weekly VWAP as well when we were consolidating. We were looking for a weekly higher low compared to the low here of 1702. And we got as low as 23.01 and we formed that weekly higher low. So if you were looking for entries now, personally is not the time. We're already skyrocketing and we had the weekly higher lows down here at 23.01 and we bounced off the VWAP there on the weekly. So we'll jump over here and we'll take a look at some of the notable movers. So we had SPCE, VEGA, OPK, DDD almost hitting $40 on the day, up almost 10%. So congrats to the bulls there. On the bear list, we had DFLY, Riot, Airbnb, TAP, to name a few. But Apple closed up about 1.5%. And Amazon going into earnings up over 4%. So one of the clear lead bulls. How did Google do? Google up over 3.5% leading into earnings tomorrow. So a lot of analysts very bullish on those earnings. But as we know, Apple crushed their earnings and their stock got hammered the next day. So we'll see if that trend continues. Tesla up over 5%. BlackBerry, I called this out in a couple of my videos, but don't act surprised. Hopefully you're not surprised, because when we got over $25, I mentioned in the video that if I were still in a position, I would have set a stop below 25. And if we lost 25, I would have been running for the hills. And 28 all the way down, we're over 50% retracement from the highs. I said that we'd likely retest between $8 and $12. And who knew that we'd be down to $12 here in 3 days. So that's how quickly tides can turn, sentiment can shift. And like I said, when something runs hundreds of percent, you need to be on the lookout for a 10, 20, 30, even 50% pullback in some cases. And in BlackBerry's case, it was over 50%. So moving on to the broader market. So obviously silver squeeze was trending this weekend on Twitter, and for good reason. There is a lot of hype right now in silver, not so much in gold, but hype has started to enter the silver squeeze. And that is after all of these, Wall Street bets groups and just focus groups that are targeting short interested companies. SLV has a very high shorted float. First Majestic also has a very high, I think it's about 20 or 30% of the float, which is the amount of shares available for trade to the public. 20, 30% short of that float. So what they're doing is they're going after names like GameStop and AMC, and they're trying to cost hedge funds that are manipulating the market billions of dollars, just like they've been doing to retail for hundreds of years. Taking a look at SLV, we saw a huge gap up. We hit almost $28 and pulled back. So $27.98 is the most important resistance going into tomorrow. And then on the second level of resistance, we have 27.23. So we are consolidating obviously on the hourly, and we need to form an hourly higher low. We bounced off EMA 12, and we could be flirting with an hourly downtrend here as well. We'll just take off extended hours so you can see it a little bit better, but we have the high, low, lower high. We need to hold this low here at 26.11, or else we confirm an hourly downtrend, and the daily bounce is likely finished at that point. But we do have a gap in the chart to be watching as well, but essentially just scouting a higher low now compared to 26.11 as we are consolidating on the hourly, but no confirmation or loss of the uptrend just yet, and no confirmation of a downtrend. So personally, I'm still swinging my SLV position. I'm still very bullish on it. We did have a lower wick, but pretty red day for the most part, and I think it's due to just manipulation. They're trying to keep the price down. Personally, I didn't sell a single share, and I'm going to be swinging this for quite a while. My plan is to hold it for quite a while. We have the all-time high up at 48.35. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but personally, we just set the monthly higher low. I think there's a lot more upside to be had. So you can see here the low at 20.45. And we did break above 27.39, which confirms that monthly higher low. And then no real resistance at 34.08, but we need to see follow through tomorrow to be confident. Personally, very comfortable in my SLV position and don't plan on selling that anytime soon. So want to bring up the dollar here. The dollar is at a crucial level. We had resistance at 90.95 and 91.01. So we'll say 91. We are currently over that resistance. We do have a little bit of resistance here at 91.23, but nothing really after that. And you can see that we are in a daily uptrend, we just broke to a higher high. So our new daily higher low is established at 90.04. We did bounce off EMA 12 and 26, and we're seeing a bull cross of those exponential moving averages as well. Not yet overbought on the daily. So it looks like this move is for real. That's going to decrease the odds of a weekly bear flag. And hourly uptrend, EMA 12 there on the hourly is going to be extremely important. So bringing up SPY. So SPY, we did not change the hourly trend. We knew to be looking for daily consolidation and daily follow through on that consolidation. And from the bounce this morning in pre-market, we did not change the hourly trend. You can see we had a higher low every single candle, and we're now finally starting to consolidate. So this could be a potential hourly bull flag. If we pull back to EMA 12 and hold that level, then the possibility of an hourly bull flag remains. But if we do lose that, we'll just be scouting a higher low compared to 368.29, and then we'll look for a higher low into a higher high and change that hourly trend. And then we can be confident that the daily higher lows are set and the daily bounce is likely going to be underway. But we need something like that with a higher low and a higher high to be absolutely confident that those lows are set. We also had EMA 12 here on the daily time frame to be watching, and we pulled back essentially right at that level, and we are in a daily downtrend, so we need to be cautious here. This could have been a fake out, potential bull trap. Maybe we pull back from EMA 12 and we just see a continuation of this downtrend. So obviously the low of the day is going to be extremely important tomorrow, 370.38 and 370 psychological. After that, 368.27 from the low of Friday. After that, we have support down at 364.82 on the daily. And resistance to be watching is going to be 381.93. And then after that, it's going to be the all-time high at 385.85. So pretty much all names need to change their hourly trends. The more names that set hourly higher lows and higher highs and confirm hourly uptrends, the more confident we can be in the entire sector and the entire market, the broader sector and the broader market as a whole. So again, QQQ, same deal, look for a potential hourly bull cross of those EMAs, but need to set that higher low and higher high. So silver, see here, futures up over 7% on the day. Biotech sector was absolutely on fire today, up over 4%. XHB, the home builders ETF, set its hourly higher low and higher high, so it's a bit stronger than most. XLE, energy sector, is yet to do so. XLF, looks like we did set a higher low, just a mini bull flag into a higher high, so you can consider that an hourly trend change. Healthcare sector, we have the low, high, so this is pretty choppy at the moment. Wouldn't consider that an hourly trend change at this point. We essentially double bottomed there, so 114 is going to be the most important short-term support, and resistance up at 116.34 and 117.47. So that's pretty much going to do it for me today. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap, and we shall see you a little bit. I'll do another video for an update on the Canadian and US marijuana sector. Let me know in the comments below if there's any tickers you'd like covered. Let me know what your plan is going into the rest of the week. Are you holding silver? Are you personally, I'm going to be loading up on MJ. I've got some blockchain, some crypto. I've got Ethereum, Ripple. I've got Hive. I've got a few different MJ names, MSOS, Hexo, Xena. I've got KBEV, few other plays, but pretty much for the most part, I am mostly short SPY and QQQ after not changing the hourly trends. And I'm looking to set potential daily lower highs on SPY and continue shorting that. Because like I said, we're in a daily downtrend and we have EMA 12 there. So personally, not having changed the hourly trend, I increased my short position. So my biggest positions are short SPY and QQQ, then my SLV position, and then my MJ position. So I'm hedging my long exposure and silver exposure and MJ positions with those shorts. So I'll continue to ride those, and not seeing, if we change the hourly trend, then I will trim my short, but not seeing any indication of that yet. So once again, please like the video. If you enjoy this market perspective, consider subscribing, and we'll see you a little bit later on for a cannabis market update.